and go.
Hi there. Once again, my name is John, and I am in a therapy session with my therapist.
Lauren, trauma therapist.
Yes. And I'm still at the tail end of 1 year and 5 months in the trauma therapy with Lauren. And this will be the second video of how and why trauma therapy or actually why therapy period works for me. I have written down, I got 10 rules here that work for me and I suggest for everybody else that's thinking about therapy or going through therapy. The 10 reasons are, and forgive me, I'm going to read this because I don't want to leave anything out. You have to remember, like for example, Lauren, or your therapist is definitely there for you. That's what they're there for. Rule number 2, they are not there to fix you. They are there to guide you. They're there to guide you to relieving and understanding yourself, and then guide you into understanding, overcoming, and for controlling yourself and hopefully not others. So, which leads into step 3, this is the time for you to be self-centered. It is definitely all about you. This is probably the only time in life where it's all about you. 4, I suggest what worked for me with Lauren. I really came in and I poured myself out, my heart out to her. I said, you know what? I'm going to start off with something and I want to see how she reacts. So I started off from the get-go pouring my heart out with what I was dealing with about crap I've been through as a child that led into adulthood. And I really didn't leave anything out. I wanted to test the waters to see if it was a safe place to share. And I found that by doing that, she made it such a safe place to share, as I'm sure your therapist will, because this is what they're there for, and you're not their first client. She made it such a safe place because she was not there to judge. I saw no remorse in any of her expressions, no disgust, no shame for me or guilt for me. I mean, it was just like talking to a wall. But she doesn't look like the wall. One day she'll show herself, maybe.
Maybe.
And you got to remember, the more you share, as time goes on, it'll be easier to get the deeper secrets out. They have heard it all. You're not original. The only thing for a therapist that changes are people's faces. Stories never change. Number 6, do not struggle to find the right words. If you don't know the words, just say whatever comes to mind. It is the therapist's job to read between the lines of what you're trying to say. They will hear it and then repeat it back to you. Just like if you journal, and if you don't, I recommend it. Sit down instead of writing, just start talking. I mean, I've rambled on so much where sometimes I even looked at Lauren and said, what? You know, and she's like, okay, just get it out, John. And that's what really worked for me, because I believe a person must end themselves to start over. So I guess like the first year and 2 months, I just rambled. I let it all out, right?
Yeah, you got to let it out in order to, let it go. Let it out, let it go, and start over.
Exactly, because the more you keep it in, the worse it's going to get. And you're ignoring it. And the more you ignore something, the more it's going to bother you. Like a 2-year-old. That's how my inner secrets were. We're like a 2-year-old.
Great point.
Yeah, she agrees. Thank you for that. Definitely, I recommend when you're verbally sharing, get in with the nonverbal. You know, and if you're not a nonverbal person, or if you're nervous and you're scared, just try to start off using your hands, explaining, you know, and I'm not picking on anyone, but if you have anger problems and someone cut you off, just don't say, you know, someone cut me off today or last week, you know, and I lost it and I wanted to use it. You know, that's fine. But what really helps the therapist and you to learn about how you are is if you say, you know what, this freaking idiot cut me off and I wanted to chase him down. You know, I started laying on my, you know, paint a picture with your words and your nonverbal. And then you can also get a grip of, wow, that's how I am.
That's a great point, because you are very, very good at animating in session what things would look like out in the real world, right? And your reactions, your responses, your emotions. And a lot of people, I think, have a very difficult time explaining or showing. And
Yeah.
if I say, well, what does that look like? Or when you're feeling tension or anger, what does that look like for you? And a lot of people get really puzzled by that.
Yeah.
So that's a really great example to show, like, this is what it looks like if I were in my car and I was getting pissed off at another
Exactly.
driver,
Yeah.
right? Like, that helps us to better understand where you're at and that level of intensity to then help you navigate through that and kind of feel
Exactly.
through it.
You know, because I've had anger issues, and I've told you about some of them, and you've even said to me, John, I want to see you. What would you have done? Act
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
You know, and when I acted it out, it was like, man, you know, I'm able to say, man, my heart
Mm-hmm.
picked up. I get sweat, my palm.
Yes.
You know, I'm ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and by doing so, I'm kind of like blank.
Yeah.
You know, so when you act it out, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And definitely, if your therapist gives you homework for the week or something to work on that I call homework, or if it's something that was revealed to you, and even if your therapist doesn't say work on this, work on it throughout the week. Take notes. Everybody has a phone. I mean, write it down in your phone on the notes and start working on your changes and take notes and bring it up next session. And that is it. So hopefully this works for you. Everybody gets it differently. Some get it quicker than others, so it's not a race. But like I said, it took me over a year to completely empty myself. Mm-hmm. And now we're working on what I've learned and how to keep doing what I'm doing, which will be in the other segments. Thank you, and have a good day, and all the best in your therapy.